My name is Sarah Miller. I am 32 years old, and I live in a small town in the United States. The kind of place where people think they know everything about you. They smile in public, but they never forget your mistakes. They wait for you to fall just so they can say they saw it coming. I am a graphic designer. My biggest dream was simple: build something of my own. A business that had my name on it. A future that wasn't controlled by anyone else. I poured my heart into that dream. Every long night, every loan payment, every sketch I created, I believed it all meant something. Until the person I expected support from the most chose to laugh instead. My dad. I grew up thinking if I just worked harder, he would finally be proud of me. I thought success would fix the distance between us. Yet when my business struggled, he didn't offer a hand. He crushed me with his words. He told me I was ridiculous for trying. He told me I was wasting money, yeah. Told me I didn't have what it takes. And he laughed. Not the kind of laugh you forget. The kind that follows you like a shadow. The kind that whispers failure in your ear every single night. His texts, they didn't just hurt me. They broke something inside me. I felt shame. I felt small. I felt like the world had suddenly turned its back on me. What I didn't realize was that those same words that destroyed me would one day destroy him too, because I saved every single message. You see, sometimes the wounds people give you become the sharpest weapons you can carry. One night, shaking with anger and fear, I finally made a choice. I posted his cruelty for the entire world to see. And everything changed. I didn't grow up in a home without love. My mom tried her best to make sure I felt valued. She made pancakes in the shape of hearts and told me I was talented whenever I brought home a drawing from school. Her voice was soft, almost too soft, like she was afraid to speak too loudly in her own house. My dad, Mark Miller, believed emotions were weaknesses. He believed success was the only currency of respect. He used to run a mid-sized hardware business, and people in town admired him. They'd shake his hand, call him a real man, someone who built his life from the ground up. He loved that. He needed that image more than he needed a relationship with his own daughter. Then there was my younger brother, Adam, the golden boy. Corporate job at 25, a shiny car, a girlfriend with perfect teeth, and a perfect family. Dad talked about him like he was a trophy he kept polished on a shelf. Every time Adam walked into the room, Dad's eyes lit up like stadium lights. Every time I walked in, the lights dimmed. I tried to ignore it growing up, but comparison has a way of sinking into your bones. Dad would say things like, "You're creative, sure, but creativity doesn't pay the bills. Why can't you be more like Adam? You dream too big for someone who hasn't proven anything." I carried those words into adulthood, even when I pretended I didn't. Still, I wanted us to work as a family. I wanted him to see what I saw in myself. That's why I put every dollar, every ounce of courage into starting my own custom design shop. Mom cried the day I signed the lease. Dad just crossed his arms and waited for everything to crash. Mom told me he was just worried. I told myself he was just misunderstood. Deep down, I think I always knew the truth. He wasn't afraid I would fail. He was afraid I might succeed. The first day my shop opened, I stood behind the counter with trembling hands, breathing in the scent of fresh paint and hope. I had designed every sign, every flyer, every little detail with love. I waited for customers like a child waiting for magic. Day 1, a few curious visitors. Day 2, one small order. Day 5, silence. Rent never waited. Bills never flinched. Every morning I unlocked the door with a little less confidence. Dad checked in, not to encourage me, but to measure my fall. "So, any sales today?" His voice always carried that smirk. That "I told you so" tone he never needed to actually say out loud. I tried to stay positive, but when weeks passed and numbers didn't rise, fear began eating at me. I scraped savings. I worked freelance jobs overnight just to keep the lights on. My hands shook from stress, caffeine, and tears I refused to let fall during the day. And then the worst moment came. One evening, I stared at the empty shop, wondering if my dream was just a joke the universe played on me. My phone buzzed. It was Dad. A string of messages rolled in like bullets. "You are living in a fantasy. You've embarrassed this family. Shut it down before you humiliate yourself more." I blinked fast, trying not to cry. Before I could type anything, another message. You'll always be a failure compared to Adam. The words sliced straight into the part of me that still searched for his approval. My breath caught in my throat. My heart felt like shattered glass. I typed a shaky response. I'm trying my best. His reply came fast. Your best isn't good enough. It never was. I stared at the screen while my brother reacted to the messages in the family group chat with laughing emojis. Dad added, I warned you. Dreams don't suit you. I dropped the phone. The room blurred. I sank to the floor surrounded by my own creations, the very things he believed were worthless. That was the night something inside me changed. I realized I could either keep letting his voice define me, or I could make the world hear mine. So I picked up my phone again. I scrolled through every cruel message he had ever sent. My hand steadied, because suddenly, I knew exactly what to do. I didn't sleep that night. My pillow was damp, my chest tight from hours of silent crying. The kind of crying that doesn't make noise because the heartbreak is too heavy to move. My phone screen glowed in the dark like a reminder. His words were real. His cruelty existed. His disappointment had receipts. The world loves stories of struggle. Everyone posts victories. Yet the pain behind them stays hidden. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe I had been hiding too much. I opened a blank canvas on my design app. My hands hesitated, then began to create. I took one message. Just one. You'll always be a failure. I placed it in the center. No names, no context. Just the raw truth of how a parent's voice can become a weapon. I added a small caption at the bottom. Words can break more than dreams. It felt like exposing a bruise no one ever noticed. My finger hovered over post. My heartbeat raced. The thought hit me. What if the world agreed with him? I posted anyway. Minutes passed. Then a few likes. A comment. This hit hard. Another. Parents shouldn't say this. Then, dozens. Hundreds. People shared their own stories. Broken. Families, disappointments, scars, left by the very people meant to protect them. By morning, my notification feed was chaos. One graphic became 5. 5 turned into 12. Each one was another stitch ripped open. I didn't reveal identities. Not yet. The anonymity gave the posts power. They didn't belong to just me anymore. They belonged to everyone who ever felt less than enough. My business page transformed into a movement. Overnight, influencers reposted. Local news. Pages asked to feature the story. Messages flooded in from strangers telling me they felt seen. Meanwhile, inside the Miller family group chat, Dad, have you seen this nonsense online? Adam, so dramatic. Probably just lazy kids blaming parents. Mom stayed silent. Then the posts hit 200,000 shares. Dad's tone shifted. You better not be behind this. Sarah, delete it. Now. People will think this is about me. I stared at his panic. My heart strangely calm, because deep down he knew. He recognized every line, every word, every stain he left on me. My silence was finally speaking. Louder than he ever expected. And the world was listening. Dad always cared about reputation more than love. The moment the posts became viral enough to threaten his precious image, fear crawled under his skin. His messages shifted from angry to desperate. You are ruining everything. People think I'm a monster. Take those posts down. Sarah. I didn't respond. For the first time in my life, I wasn't afraid of his voice. Meanwhile, the internet kept rising like a tidal wave. Survivors of toxic families formed a community under my posts. They tagged friends, family, therapists. Conversations erupted everywhere. This sounds exactly like my dad. Why do some parents think success is the only thing that matters? We need to talk about emotional abuse. My designs became more pointed, more direct. I posted a series titled, When Love Feels Like Contempt, each one featuring another cut from his texts. Every share felt like justice. Mom finally called me, her voice trembled. Sarah, your father is upset. People are talking. At the store, at church, at work. I'm upset too, I whispered. That's different, she said, almost pleading. He didn't mean those words. So why did he say them? Silence. All the air collapsed between us. I realized Mom didn't just avoid conflict, she avoided truth. Then there was Adam. He texted privately. Grow up. You're embarrassing yourself. My hands clenched. Embarrassing myself? After everything? No. I was exposing the truth they buried for years. Dad tried to laugh it off publicly, posting quotes online about ungrateful children. His coworkers noticed. Friends stopped inviting him out. He deleted comments criticizing him in real time. But screenshots travel faster than shame. The post surged past 500,000 shares. People from around the world demanded accountability. Where are these parents? We want to confront them. They should apologize publicly. Stop hurting your own kids. Journalists emailed asking for interviews. A TV producer reached out. My heart pounded. This was bigger than anything I imagined. One evening, Dad showed up at my shop, his jaw tight, eyes red with fury. You think you're winning? His voice cracked. You're destroying this family. I stared straight into the man who once taught me to fear disappointment. No, I said quietly. You destroyed us. The world is just finally seeing the truth. That night, I scheduled the next post, the one that revealed everything: name, relation, identity, all of it. My finger hovered over the screen again. This time, I didn't shake. Tomorrow, he would face the world he cared about more than me. The night before the biggest post of my life, I couldn't close my eyes. Sleep refused to come when revenge sat beside me like a silent companion. My phone glowed on the table, waiting. The entire world waited. One last message from Dad lit up the screen. If you do this, you're not my daughter anymore. I stared at those words for a long time. He had spent my entire life reminding me of how little I meant. Now he finally said it out loud. Morning came with a strange calm. My fingers felt steady, my heart hollow but determined. I opened the post draft titled, When Your Dad is the Bully. Under the title, I placed screenshots. His exact words. Every message he thought would stay hidden inside my phone. Then I added his name, Mark Miller, local business owner. His face in a photo, arms crossed in front of his store with the proud smile of a man who never imagined the internet would judge him. The caption cut deep. He taught me that dreams are worthless. Unless they're his, my chest tightened. But I pressed post. Time froze. Then the explosion began. Notifications blasted like fireworks. Comments flooded in faster than I could read. This man should be ashamed. No child deserves emotional abuse. Sarah, we stand with you. People from our town recognized him. They tagged others. Rumors leapt across streets like lightning. That's the Miller guy. The jerk from the hardware store. He talks like that to his own daughter? Within hours, his business's page filled with angry reviews. Customers demanded answers. Suppliers backed out of deals. Dad called over and over. I didn't answer. Then Adam showed up. He barged into my shop so fast the door nearly cracked against the wall. What the hell did you do? He shouted, face bright red. I told the truth, I said. My voice didn't even tremble. You humiliated him. He humiliated me first. He's our father. And I'm his daughter, I said. You ever defend me like this, ever? He blinked like the thought had never existed. Mom came later. Her eyes were swollen, makeup smeared, hands shaking. Sarah, please, take it down. Your father is falling apart. So did I whispered, tears finally burning my eyes. Over and over. And no one cared. She burst into tears. He's scared. People are threatening him. He should have thought about that when he threatened my future, I answered. Dad finally showed up at closing time. He didn't yell. He didn't mock. His shoulders slumped, as if the weight of his ego had finally crushed him. You're happy now? He asked, voice rough. I swallowed hard. No, I'm not happy. His eyes glistened like he might cry, though he fought it. I was trying to make you strong, he muttered. You broke me, I said. Strength doesn't grow from cruelty. It grows from love. He covered his face with his hands. For the first time ever, my father looked small. I never thought I'd lose my daughter, he whispered. I wiped a tear from my cheek. You never tried to keep me. The fallout didn't stop when I closed the shop that night. The internet never sleeps, especially when a family's dirty truth becomes public entertainment. My dad's name trended locally for 3 days straight. Reporters camped outside the hardware store. Customers demanded refunds. Employees quit. His business, his pride, crumbled faster than my dreams ever did. He shut the store down temporarily, claiming it was for renovation, but everyone knew the truth. His reputation had cracked like thin glass, and the world watched the shards fall. Adam disappeared offline altogether. No more flashy posts about his achievements. Maybe he realized perfection and cruelty often wear the same mask. Maybe he just didn't want to face the shame of defending the wrong side. Mom tried to patch things up, like always. She begged me to sit down as a family, work things out, make peace. Her heart wanted harmony, but harmony never existed in our home. Just silence wrapped around wounds. Can you forgive him? She whispered one night. I looked at her, seeing every apology she never allowed herself to ask for. She had survived his sharp edges longer than I did. The truth lived behind her tired eyes. I can heal, I said softly. Forgiveness might come someday, but forgetting? Never. And healing didn't happen in a romantic montage. It happened in slow steps. I poured my focus back into the business. Orders exploded from all over the country. People supported me not because they pitied me, but because my art spoke for them too. Every time I packaged a design, I felt pieces of myself coming back together. Therapists reached out, offering discounted sessions and collaborations on awareness campaigns. What started as pain became a platform, a community, a voice for daughters and sons who felt unseen, unheard, unloved. As for Dad, the silence between us stretched into weeks. Then one afternoon he stood in my shop doorway again. No arrogance, no armor, just regret. I want to be better, he said quietly. I don't know how, but I want to try. His eyes didn't shine with pride. They shined with humility, something I never thought I'd witness. I didn't rush to hug him. I didn't hate him either. Some endings aren't loud. Some lessons don't come wrapped in triumph. Healing can look like distance. Healing can sound like boundaries. Healing can mean choosing yourself. For the first time ever. Life is strange. The same hands that once promised to protect you can be the same hands that push you into the darkest corner of your existence. Now, when I sit by the window of my new office, looking at the city lights spreading like stars on Earth, I remember everything. Those nights I cried myself to sleep. Those messages that shattered me from inside. Those words that made me question if I deserved to dream at all. My father is still alive, still in the same house, but he isn't the same man anymore. His voice doesn't carry power. His eyes don't shine with pride. He walks quietly now, avoiding the world he once dominated. He calls sometimes, trying to apologize, trying to explain. But healing doesn't come so quickly. Not when the wound was carved by love itself. I didn't win a war. I simply reclaimed my voice. For the first time, I showed the world that my pain was not a joke. My dreams were not worthless, and I was never a failure. My mother says, "Sweetheart, forgive him. He's your father." I smile at her because she doesn't understand. I never hated him. All I ever wanted was for him to see me, to believe in me, without tearing me down. There's no turning back now. The fear, the shame, the loneliness. I buried all of it in the past. My steps move forward only, toward a life I built with my own courage. My phone still buzzes. Notifications still show up. But there is no fear waiting inside them anymore. I'm not the girl who breaks. I'm the woman who rose, from the very words meant to destroy her. Sometimes life teaches a lesson too late, yet perfectly on time. Those who try to bury you in the dirt forget that roots only grow stronger underground.